Research shows that outdoor play reduces stress, boosts creativity, and helps regulate emotions. For children, it's a chance to run, jump, climb, and connect with the natural world, activities that are critical for their development. Kia ora, hello, I'm Ruth Burko, a teacher turned mum here on a mission to demystify child's play through understanding play schemas. If you've ever found yourself asking, why is my child doing that? Whether it's throwing their soft toys, hiding stones around the house, or lining up their crayons, then you're in the right place, and certainly not alone. Here, we'll explore the magic of play through the lens of play schemas, those hidden, repeated patterns in your child's behaviour that holds the key to unlocking more meaningful play and connection. Through understanding play schemas, you'll be able to move beyond those one-off activities and understand the why behind your child's play. Join me each week as we dive into playful insights that will help you bring more joy, connection, and understanding into your parenting journey and set the stage for a lifetime of learning. Let's dive on in. Welcome to another episode of Demystifying Child's Play, the podcast where we unlock the secrets of children's natural play to bring more joy, connection, and understanding into your parenting journey. I'm Ruth, and I'm thrilled that you're here. Today, we're exploring the wonders of nature play and how understanding the top 10 most common play schemas can deepen your connection with your child and turn everyday moments into magical learning opportunities. I'm also excited that I have a new freebie, still at the same place, playschemas.com/free. There, you'll find the cheat sheet, which outlines the 10 most common play schemas that we'll be talking about today, but also one which is specifically linked to nature play that has the ideas I'll be sharing. So you can easily get it and put it in your back pocket to refer to. So hit pause and head over to playschemas.com/free. That is play, schemas.com/free to nab it. Okay. We're in the start of summer here in the Southern Hemisphere. So if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, it may take a little bit more to imagine. But imagine it's a warm summer's day. You're down by a river and you're listening to its soft babble while your toddler's gleefully tossing pebbles into a stream. Each splash brings a giggle. As you watch, you might think they've been doing this for hours. What's the fascination with throwing stones? What your little child is doing is exploring the trajectory schema. This natural urge to investigate movement is a key way they learn about the world around them. Maybe it's the adults spending hours too. Play schemas are patterns of behaviour children naturally engage in to make sense of their environment. They're universal, fascinating, and once you understand them, they can change the way you view your child's play. Today, we'll not only cover what play schemas are, but also how they come alive in outdoor settings, why nature play is essential for mental and physical health, and some fun ideas to try when the weather is warm outside. So if you're currently experiencing the cold, hit save and come back to this later. Now, I'm sure you've all heard about the benefits of getting outside, but how achievable do you find it with the ins and outs of everyday parenting? Research shows that outdoor play reduces stress, boosts creativity, and helps regulate emotions. For children, it's a chance to run, jump, climb, and connect with the natural world, activities that are critical for their development. And a saying that I love is children can't bounce off the walls if there are none. But sometimes getting outside just seems like a step too far. Your little one might be in a manic mood inside, and the thought of taking them outside is just overwhelming because who knows what they might do or where they might run. Or for you, you may know in your head that being outside has so many benefits, but it's just not in your makeup to head outside. You'd much rather be indoors, but you know your kids would benefit from that door being opened or being bundled in the car for a little adventure. Now, if you add play schemas to the mix, and if you're already aware of what schema they're working on, you can take it outside, and you've got a recipe for endless engagement and fun, which might just make the step of getting outside the house that little bit easier. Nature provides the absolute perfect canvas for these schemas to unfold. Okay, let's break it down. I'm going to swing through the 10 play schemas and give you about 3 ideas for each one. If you have any other ideas, I would absolutely love to hear them. You can contact me through @play_schemas on social media or through my website. And don't forget, you can get a full list at playschemas.com/free. Okay, let's start with the one which nearly always leads itself to outside play, which is trajectory. So number 1, have a go at using leaves, which your transporting child may already have collected, but make sure you're not removing your positioning child's ones. You could toss these leaves in the air to see what they do. The wind helps children learn about cause and effect while exploring how objects move through space. You could repeat this one at different times of the day or on different days to see how it changes or stays the same. Number 2, you could have a go at jumping off logs, rocks, or even jumping over the cracks in the pavement. This develops motor skills and builds confidence in movement and how they can control their body. Number 3 is pouring water from one bucket to another. This hones in hand-eye coordination and introduces basic physics, like concepts about gravity. As I head through these play schemas, as I mentioned just with the trajectory one, if you have more than one child at home, you can really work these schemas in together to support your children to be all working within what their interest is. But as I mentioned, be careful with your kids who are particularly in the positioning schema. You don't want to be removing parts of their patterns which they've carefully and thoughtfully laid out. This could, rightly so, lead to some really good big emotions and meltdowns. Okay, number 2, let's look at transporting. One thing you could do is carry sticks, leaves, or seed pods, such as pine cones, from one spot to another. This encourages problem solving as children decide what to carry, how to carry it, and how much they can carry at one time, as well as where to place it. Another idea could be gathering rocks into a pile. It doesn't only strengthen their muscles, but also strengthens their understanding of quantity and spatial awareness. And number 3, using a bucket, wagon, cart, wheelbarrow, or simply a piece of cardboard that they can drag along the ground. Use it to move items, to build gross motor skills, and it also fosters a sense of accomplishment. Okay, enveloping. Again, using the leaves, which may have been collected, you could begin wrapping leaves around rocks. This enhances fine motor skills and introduces creativity. You could also seamlessly add in mathematical concepts into it, such as counting how many leaves have been used and maybe discuss the difference between how many smaller leaves and bigger leaves are used. If you do want to hear more about linking mathematics, literacy, or actually any other learning area seamlessly into schemas and play, just let me know. Another way is you could hide treasures in mud, sand, or leaves, which sparks imagination and nurtures sensory exploration. And then, following on from that, you could try covering hands or objects with sand or mud, which helps children explore different textures and boundaries, something that many children and adults may struggle with. Please allow some mess. Okay, nextly, rotation. You could find a lovely grassy hill and let them roll down, and if you're up to it, join in too, even just for 1 or 2 rolls. Rolling down hills provides a fun sensory way for them to experience momentum and body control. And if you really can't bring yourself to roll down the hill, maybe have some balls handy to have some fun with. Number 2, spinning in circles. It helps children understand balance and coordination. And number 3, if you have some time by some moving water, pause and spend some time observing how the water swirls around, which deepens natural curiosity, especially about natural phenomena. Okay, next, connecting. Building bridges with sticks fosters teamwork and engineering skills. And if you want, you could use some long leaves or twine to connect the sticks together. I love seeing how my 3-year-old problem solves with knot tying. Just ensure that unless it's in your own backyard, to remove and take home any unnatural materials you use. Number 2, string flowers together. Think daisy chains or floral crowns. This promotes patience and fine motor development. Or 3, you could create chains from leaves by threading through their stems. This helps children grasp concepts of order and sequence. But please do remember, unless it's your own space or you have permission from the landowner, please don't pick anything from plants. Instead, use what you can find on the ground. Okay, I'm sure that you know what comes after connecting is disconnecting. You could have a go at pulling apart pine cones. This encourages curiosity about natural objects and their structure. There is also so much science and discovery that you can do with pine cones, but we'll do more on that at a later date. Another one, you could have a go at breaking small twigs up which supports hand strength and coordination, and is a great foundation for discussion around how easy it may be to break some of the smaller ones compared to the larger ones. The great thing about schema play is you can put so much language into it. You could go on a dandelion hunt and take apart the dandelion heads, which introduces children to plant anatomy and observation. This can be done with any large flower heads, poppies, hibiscus. Have a look at the different flowers and take photos so you can compare them at a different date. Okay, moving on to enclosure. You could build forts with branches, which nurtures problem solving and spatial awareness. I vividly remember as a child when my dad went to go trim the hedges. We always wanted him to wait until the flyaway branches were super long so then we could use them to push them into the ground and build huts. I don't think he liked waiting for them to be that long. Another idea is take out some plastic animals, vehicles or toys and create mud shelters, garages or castles. This taps into creativity and fine motor skills. And thirdly, you could encircle spaces with rocks or sticks, which fosters the understanding of boundaries and geometry. Okay, orientation. The number one has to be tree climbing. Climbing trees give children new perspectives and boosts their physical confidence. Our 3-year-old again is just getting into wanting to climb trees, and I'm absolutely loving seeing his problem solving. And his 15-month-old brother who is absolutely desperate to follow him. You could support them by spotting them while they hang upside down on a sturdy branch or from the bars at the playground, which enhances vestibular development. Or crawling through small spaces, which allows exploration from a unique vantage point. Okay, next is transformation, known as the messy one. I hear you. Take a breath, listen to my 3 suggestions, and then feel free to pick the least messy one. But I do challenge you, allow some mess in your life. So number 1, mix some dirt and water into mud, which provides a sensory stimulation and a creative experimentation. Try adding some eco-friendly dishwashing liquid as well for an added sensory experience. You could turn petals and leaves into soups, which sparks imaginative play and some storytelling. Or for the even most adverse parent or child, you can sit watching the sun melt some ice, which teaches children about changes in states of matter. Okay, last but not least, I've mentioned it a couple of times, is the positioning schema. So you could collect things, anything, and lie them up along a pathway. This introduces concepts of patterns and symmetry. At the beach, you can begin arranging shells in specific orders, which fosters attention to detail. Or have a go at stacking items like stones or pine cones, which encourages balance and spatial reasoning. So those are just 3 ideas per schema which I've quickly gone through. There are literally thousands of ways to interact with the different schemas, and the beauty of it is if you allow your child the time and space, you may see them doing any of these things that I've suggested on their own without any adult intervention. So, do any of these sound familiar? Schemas aren't just random. They're how your child is learning and making sense of the world. I really do find it a bit of a game, whether I'm outside with my own 2 children or in a group with friends, of observing and trying to see which play schema, or more than one play schema, they might be working through. Recently, one afternoon, I was at a friend's house and their 3-year-old Maya spent nearly an hour carefully lining up pine cones along a garden path, while my 2 were either running through the sprinkler or climbing up and down their fort while we chatted. Well, I say chatted loosely as I ran back and forth trying to console one after the other one, sprayed them in the eye with water, or had to spot them as they were learning how to climb up the fort. At first, her mum was a little bit worried that she wasn't being active enough in joining in, comparing Maya to my 2. But Maya was deeply engaged in the positioning schema. Her focus and determination showed just how much she was learning about patterns and order. The satisfaction on her face when she placed the last piece was priceless. And then being able to see the schema in action really did give her mum the aha moment, thinking about all the other times in the last week that she had engaged in some similar play. Another parent during the week told me about their toddler Jack, who absolutely loved collecting rocks on their daily walk with their dog along the beach. Every day, Jack would gather as many stones as he could carry and move them from one place to another, his little treasure trove. This was one of the transporting schemas in action. When we talked about this, Jack's parents started bringing a small little wagon so he could expand his collection and start moving things more. He was absolutely thrilled. I was shown the absolute best photo with the joy on his face, and it was the next level. When you understand play schemas, all these moments become less about the mess or wasting time and more about discovery and growth. The key is to see the learning and the joy in what they're doing. So I've mentioned it before, and I will again with more of an outside lens on. These are some ways that you can support play schemas and the patterns at home as well as outdoors. Okay, let's break it down. So number 1, always observe. Take a step back and watch your child without interrupting. What do they naturally gravitate to? Are they throwing, lining up things, collecting, climbing? These behaviours offer clues about their favourite schemas, and you can observe them while they're playing inside to help you understand them more outside. Number 2, provide materials. Nature offers an endless supply of open-ended materials. Sticks, leaves, stones, water, sand, these simple elements become tools for imaginative play. Number 3, join in. Play alongside them without taking over. If your child is fascinated by the trajectory schema and throwing leaves, grab some leaves yourself and then let them see you having fun. Make a game of seeing how far they fly or if they make sounds when they land. Number 4, stay patient. It's easy to feel frustrated when your child's play gets messy or it's repetitive. But remember, these schemas are their ways of learning. Shifting your mindset from mess to meaningful exploration can help reduce frustration. And number 5, rotate spaces. Once you've gained confidence in one outside setting, if possible, visit different outdoor environments, a beach, forest, park, or even have playdates fully in others' backyards. All of these can spark new ideas and opportunities for schemas to unfold. As we wrap up for today, take some time to think how you might change your perspective on your child's play if you are able to view it through play schemas. Could this understanding help reduce some of the daily parenting frustrations? Now that you know about nature play and play schemas, are you ready to take the next step? Visit playschemas.com/free to download your free play schemas cheat sheet or the list of nature play ideas that I've mentioned above. Both guidelines will help you recognise and support schemas at home and in your outdoor activities. And don't forget, the beauty of nature play is that it doesn't require fancy equipment or a lot of prep. Sometimes the simplest settings create the richest play experiences. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of Demystifying Child's Play through Play Schemas. And remember, if you're thinking that you need a deeper dive than just the cheat sheet, flick me a message either on socials at play_schemas or through my contact page on the website. I look forward to you joining me in the next episode, and I hope you're taking into your day new ideas and insights to help you connect with your child through play in meaningful and fun ways. If you've enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe so that you never miss out on future tips, strategies, and those aha moments. Then share it with other parents and caregivers who are ready to explore the power of play schemas as well. If you want to dive in more, do head over to the blog at playschemas.com/006 for the show notes and any bonuses attached to this episode. That is playschemas.com/006. And hey, as always, I would love to hear your playtime stories. Whether you're celebrating a win or trying to crack the mystery behind a new behaviour, I'm here for it. Reach out on social media or drop me a message. Until next time, say it with me, today is a great day to play.